As a therapist, it never fails to amaze me the impact on our society that counseling has, not just on the individual who comes and does the work, but the reverberations that go out from that person's life, from the work and the courage and the bravery.
You can see people's shoulders relax when they come back to me and say, oh yeah, I found a counselor that I can work with, and not everything's fixed, but just being able to approach some of those tender spots that may have been shut off for a little while is really powerful.
I think one of the most profound things some counselors have helped me see and turn me on to are the things in my life that actually produce joy, and how they've helped me release the things I was pursuing that I thought would lead to joy that weren't. And so really getting me on the right track for letting the love of God flow through me. That's what great counselors have done in my life.
It's when a client tells me that they spoke to their colleagues in a way they never had before, and it changed the outcome of that conversation. That they created a pathway out of conflict for respect, for graciousness, for healing in their workplace, in their families. Still to this day, I am constantly amazed at the impact that therapy has, not just on the individual, but really on our community.
You know, that term, fog of war, when you're in the middle of it, is really hard to see. It's hard to see your own heart. It's hard to see God. And to think that you can find a trustworthy person to help you navigate that, to help you think it through, to talk it through, a place you're getting biblically sound counsel is hugely important. And I love that Bell Tower does that.
There's this aspect of you can look at yourself in the mirror, but that can tell you nothing about what's going on inside of you. And so you need someone else to help draw those things out of you so you can see it.
That different perspective has helped me kind of go from a place of feeling like, oh, I'm just like this, to oh, maybe there's growth for me here, and have some hope of moving forward out of a place of being stuck in whatever behavioral or emotional issue I feel stuck in.
My husband and I sought mental health counseling early in our marriage, and we were lucky enough to meet with somebody who met both of us so well, which allowed us to explore relational patterns and pain and things that we wanted to see done differently in our marriage. We reference that time in counseling almost weekly as we seek to relate to each other, to our world, and to our children.
Oftentimes with some of the darkest, most difficult parts of ourselves, it's uncomfortable to share that with other people. But the counseling setting is one where you can do that in a way where you feel safe, where you're not going to feel judged or shamed. But really, you're going to be invited to do that in a way leading towards life. And so I really view that these counselors are really on the front lines of being able to be there in those vulnerable spaces with people who need it so desperately. And they're able to be there and speak hope and life in those times and in those moments in really, really cool ways.
We choose to support Bell Tower Counseling because we know that they provide an invaluable service to the broader community. Mental health is such a core part of someone's overall health, and we know that Bell Tower does an excellent job providing for people in that way.
I'm a nurse practitioner and I refer people to counseling a lot, and getting ready for counseling is a big step. And then on top of that, there's another big step of finding counseling. So one thing I say in Seattle, if we could have more social workers and more counselors, I'd love that. And just being able to have more access, that's quality, seems like such a great thing to support.
There are two barriers that usually prevent people from finding counseling. One is who can I trust? Who would be a trustworthy counselor? And the other is, can I afford that trustworthy counselor? And I think Bell Tower works hard to knock down those barriers. Where can we find a trustworthy counselor? You can find a trustworthy counselor at Bell Tower. If I do find a counselor, how in the world will I pay for it? And Bell Tower is lowering that barrier as well.
After more than 12 years in a private practice setting as a clinician, to be a part of the scholarship model is invaluable to me. It is truly priceless to me. The number of times in the course of my career as a therapist that people have called and we get stuck on the moment of cost, and it's heartbreaking every time. And at Bell Tower, we're always working so that when a client calls in, we can say, okay, Let's figure out how to make this work for you. We'll do this together. I am excited about that every single day.
When I was given the opportunity to interview with Bell Tower, I felt like I became more aware of a need in my community and something that I was able to provide. I love working here because I am able to do a job that both provides for my family and is sustainable for my clients. It feels exciting to participate in the work of Bell Tower in providing clinically excellent and affordable mental health care.
It speaks volumes to me when I hear a few clinicians that we know say they enjoy working for Bell Tower, because burnout is so high in the mental health space. So to be able to feel well supported and to not feel like you're sacrificing your life, to be able to have an income and also have like boundaries for your own emotional health, that speaks volumes to the quality of care that Bell Tower provides.
There are tons of people looking for Christian, gospel-based counseling in the city that can't find it. And Bell Tower Counseling is a place where they can. And so to have Bell Tower Counseling be a place that gets more and more publicity, more and more people are made aware of it, and that this is a counselor that's not just going to walk with you through your stuff, but walk with you through your stuff and point you to Christ, is enormous.
I want the community to know that we are here, that we welcome you, and that we are diligent and tireless stewards of your support. All of our clinicians are so passionate about what they do, and we have a wide variety of specialties. All of us really value learning, continuing our education in our specialties to figure out how to meet the needs of our community, and it's really fun to come together and hear such a wide array of voices and see how that helps all of us week over week serve our clients well.
I want those seeking counseling support to know that those of us here at Bell Tower are thrilled to be here. We are not just doing this as a job. We are doing this because we believe in healing and we believe in the work that we are doing. We think that this is possible and hopeful and also deeply, deeply meaningful.